Living alone after 60 is often painted as peaceful. Quiet mornings, full control of your time, and no one telling you what to do. And yes, there is beauty in that freedom, but behind the quiet, there are truths few people talk about until they live it. Here on Golden Minds, we share honest, heartfelt insights about aging with strength, dignity, and wisdom. And today we're diving into 10 things most people never tell you about living alone in your later years. Not to scare you, but to prepare you, empower you, and remind you that you're not alone in this experience. Whether you're already living solo or just thinking ahead, this video is for you. We'll explore the small surprises, the emotional truths, and the practical tips that can make all the difference in your daily life. From what it really feels like when the silence sets in, to why routines matter more than ever, to the emotional weight of keeping or letting go of the things you've held on to for decades. Some of these insights may feel familiar, others might catch you off guard, but every single one is based on real stories from people who have walked this road before you. So grab a warm drink, find a cozy seat, and stay with me until the end. Because insight number one is something that could literally save your life. If you're new here, hit subscribe to join the Golden Minds community and give this video a thumbs up if any part resonates with your journey. Let's begin. Let's start with something that often catches people off guard. Your safety is now entirely in your hands. When you live alone, especially as you grow older, you quickly realize that you are your own emergency backup. There's no one in the next room to hear you call out, no one coming home at 5 p.m. to notice something's wrong. And that can be a little scary, but it's also something you can prepare for. I remember reading about Elaine, a 72-year-old woman living in a small town in Oregon. One morning, she slipped in the kitchen while reaching for a glass and couldn't get up for nearly 6 hours. No one knew because no one was checking. After that, she made a few smart changes. She began wearing a smartwatch with a fall alert, kept her cell phone nearby at all times, even in the shower, and installed a lockbox outside with a spare key, just in case her family needed to get in quickly. These aren't signs of weakness. They're signs of strength. They're how you protect your independence while living alone. If you live in a rural area or don't have nearby neighbors, it's especially important to have a plan. Whether it's a medical alert device, regular check-in calls, or just sharing your routine with someone you trust, these little actions give you peace of mind and keep you safer. Because living alone doesn't mean you're helpless. It just means you're in charge, and that's powerful. Now, while keeping yourself safe is essential, there's something else that can sneak up on you even faster than a fall, and that's loneliness. A lot of people assume that living alone is perfect for introverts, and in some ways it can be. You have space, freedom, and quiet. But even the most independent souls can begin to feel a strange emptiness, not from being alone, but from not being noticed. There's a difference between solitude and loneliness. One feels peaceful, the other isolating. I remember reading a story about Walter, a retired librarian in his late 70s, who lived alone in a cozy apartment. He shared how he once went 4 days without speaking to another person, not a neighbor, not even a cashier. He said, "It wasn't that I felt sad. It was that I started to wonder if anyone would notice if I disappeared." That's a heavy thought, but it's more common than you might think. So what can help? Start small. Some seniors find comfort in adopting a pet, a cat, a dog, even a bird. Others make a habit of calling a friend once a week or joining a local class. Technology can help too. Video chats, online forums, or even commenting on YouTube channels like this one. You'd be surprised how much it helps to feel seen. You deserve to be heard. You deserve to be connected. And just because you live alone doesn't mean you have to go through life feeling invisible. Reach out. You matter more than you know. And when loneliness quietly creeps in, something else begins to shift. Your sense of time. Without the rhythm of another person in the house, a partner waking up beside you, someone coming and going, daily conversations or shared meals, days can start to blur together. It's not just about forgetting what day it is. It's deeper than that. Time can either stretch on endlessly or disappear before you even notice. Lillian, an 80-year-old widow from Nevada, once shared on a forum that after her husband passed and her children moved out of state, She had mornings where she'd wake up unsure whether it was Tuesday or Saturday. She said, without anyone to plan around, it's like time just floats. That's something many people don't talk about, how living alone can loosen your grip on structure. But the good news is, you can gently take that back. Creating anchors in your week helps. Try setting soft routines. Maybe Monday is your laundry day, Wednesday is your walk in the park day, Friday is your favorite movie night. Even better, tie your time to something that brings you joy. Look forward to small things, a Sunday call with a loved one, watering your plants each morning, or making a special breakfast every Saturday. Your time is yours now, and that's a gift. You just have to shape it. When you create rhythm, you bring a sense of stability and even excitement back into your life. Because time alone doesn't have to feel empty. It can feel deeply yours. Once you begin shaping your time with intention, you'll notice something else. Joy doesn't come to you automatically anymore. You have to create it. When we're surrounded by others, joy often happens by accident. A spontaneous laugh over dinner, a last-minute trip with a friend, even just someone making you a cup of coffee in the morning. But when you live alone, especially in your later years, those little sparks of joy are yours to ignite. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually empowering. I remember reading about Frank, a 75-year-old widower from Ohio, who realized he hadn't been invited out in weeks. He said, I kept waiting for the phone to ring. Then one day I decided to stop waiting. So he started something small, a Sunday morning coffee group at the local diner. The first week, it was just him and his neighbor. Now, a year later, there's a table of 8 every Sunday, laughing and swapping stories. Joy doesn't have to be loud or expensive. It can be as simple as playing your favorite music while cooking dinner, setting up a small puzzle table by the window, or inviting someone over to watch a movie. If no one's calling, be the one who reaches out. If no one's hosting, host it yourself, even if it's just tea for two. Because the beautiful truth is, you have the freedom to shape your own happiness now. And when you do, you're not just passing time, you're filling it with meaning. And as you begin creating moments of joy for yourself, there's something else that quietly reveals itself. How well you care for you when no one else is watching. When you live alone, there's no one to remind you to eat breakfast, take your vitamins, or get dressed for the day. There's no gentle nudge to make that doctor's appointment or tidy up the living room. That responsibility and that power rests entirely with you. I once read about Marlene, a soft-spoken woman in her early 80s, who realized one morning she hadn't changed out of her nightgown in 3 days. She wasn't sad or unwell. She had just slowly drifted into a rhythm of neglect. She said, I had to remind myself, I matter, even if no one else is here to see it. And that's what self-care becomes when you live alone. A quiet, ongoing reminder that you're still worth showing up for. So get dressed in the morning, even if it's just for you. Light a candle before dinner, just because you like the scent. Make a meal that's healthy and beautiful, even if no one else will taste it. These small acts aren't silly or unnecessary. They're soul-affirming. Living alone doesn't mean forgetting yourself. It's about choosing yourself in small ways every day, because you are still the most important person in your home, and you deserve to feel cared for, inside and out. As you begin showing up for yourself in quiet ways, you may notice something else, the silence. Some days it feels peaceful, even sacred. Other times it settles in like a weight. Living alone brings with it a quiet that many don't expect. After years of a full house, a busy job, or daily conversations with loved ones, the sudden stillness can feel both unfamiliar and unnerving. You start to hear the ticking clock, the hum of the fridge, and your own thoughts, louder than ever. Eleanor, a 77-year-old widow from Vermont, once shared that after her husband passed, it wasn't just his absence she felt, it was the silence. She said, the house didn't feel empty. It just felt too quiet, like it forgot how to breathe. But that same quiet can also be healing. It's where you can reflect, recharge, and reconnect with your own rhythm, without interruption, without pressure. For those who find the silence too heavy, there are gentle ways to fill it. Some people leave music playing softly throughout the house. Others listen to audiobooks or podcasts to create a sense of friendly background noise. Morning devotionals, guided meditation, or simply hearing nature sounds can ease the loneliness that silence sometimes brings. And for those who've grown to cherish the quiet, embrace it. It's a gift many never get, because whether it soothes you or stirs something inside you, the silence is yours now. Let it hold you gently, and when you're ready, speak into it, because your voice still matters here. When the silence becomes familiar, whether comforting or challenging, it's often your daily routine that keeps you anchored. Not just out of habit, but out of purpose. Routines give structure to the wide open space that living alone creates. Without someone else sharing your schedule or prompting your day, it's these small, intentional rhythms that help keep your mind steady and your spirit grounded. I think of Thomas, a retired postal worker in his early 80s, who shared on a community forum how each morning he brews his coffee, opens his curtains, and plays the same old jazz song while making breakfast. It's silly, he said, but it's how I remind myself that the day has started and that I'm here for it. These rituals may seem small to others, but they become deeply meaningful when you're the only one shaping your day. Watering your plants in the evening, feeding your pet at sunrise, watching your favorite show at the same time each night. These aren't signs of being stuck, they're signs of being rooted. If you've ever worried that having a routine means your life lacks excitement, think again. Routines provide rhythm, not restriction. They're a form of self-respect, a way of saying, my time matters and so do I. Living alone doesn't mean drifting. It means choosing how to move through each day with intention, comfort, and care. And your routine? That's the steady beat your life can dance to. Once you settle into your rhythm, something else becomes clear. Every responsibility in the home is now yours. From changing the light bulb to folding the laundry, to noticing the dust on the shelf. If you don't do it, it doesn't get done. That realization can feel empowering at first. You have full control. But over time, it can become quietly overwhelming. I read a story from Janice, a 74-year-old who had always taken pride in her tidy home. But after her husband passed, she noticed that keeping up with everything alone started to feel like a mountain. She said, "It wasn't that I didn't care. I just got tired of being the only one who cared." And that's a very real part of living alone. You're the only one noticing what's falling behind. It's not laziness or neglect, it's human. Our energy shifts with age, and our priorities naturally change too. If you're feeling this, you're not alone. One gentle solution is to break chores into small, manageable pieces. Maybe just one drawer today, one corner tomorrow, or set a timer and do what you can in 10 minutes, then stop. If your budget allows, don't hesitate to hire help occasionally. You've earned that support. And if your home is simply feeling too large to manage, consider downsizing, not as a loss, but as a gift to yourself. You deserve a space that feels peaceful, not pressuring, a home that holds you without weighing you down. As you care for your space, you may find yourself facing something even more emotional than the dust, the things you've collected over a lifetime. Living alone means every photo, every keepsake, every forgotten box in the closet holds a story. Some are joyful, others are bittersweet. And when it's just you deciding what to keep or let go, the process of decluttering can feel deeply personal. Margaret, a 78-year-old from North Carolina, shared in a community group that she had kept her late husband's old shoes by the door for 5 years. She said, "I knew he wasn't coming back, but I wasn't ready to let go of the life those shoes belonged to." That's the quiet truth about downsizing and sorting through memories. It's not about mess or minimalism. It's about honoring the past while choosing what still serves you now. Start small, one drawer, one shelf. Give yourself permission to pause when something brings up emotion. You don't have to rush, and you don't have to explain what you keep to anyone. But when you're ready, you might find that letting go of some things actually creates space, not just in your home, but in your heart. A space for peace, a space for now. This is your home, your history, your rhythm. Let it reflect who you are today, not just who you've been, because you deserve a space that feels like comfort, not a museum of memories you're afraid to touch. And once you've begun to create a space that truly feels like yours, there's one more thing to care for: your body. When you live alone, it's easy to become still without even realizing it. There's no one asking you to go for a walk, no shared chores to move you around, no reason to rush out the door. Before long, sitting becomes the default, and movement becomes the exception. I remember reading about Carl, a soft-spoken 76-year-old who said, "I used to walk every day when my wife was alive. We'd stroll after dinner, but now I eat alone and sit down right after. I didn't notice how stiff I was getting until I couldn't tie my shoes without a struggle." The truth is, movement doesn't have to be intense or fancy. It just needs to be consistent. Your body craves motion, gentle, intentional daily motion, and it doesn't take much. Stretch when you wake up. Walk to the mailbox and back. Put on music and sway to the rhythm while you cook. Some folks even adopt a dog, not just for companionship, but for the motivation to move a little more each day. Physical activity keeps your joints flexible, your balance steady, and your spirits lifted. It's one of the simplest, most powerful ways to keep your independence strong. You don't have to do it for anyone else. Just do it for you, because your body carries your life story, and it deserves your care. Even one small step is a beautiful beginning. Living alone after 60 isn't just about managing a household. It's about navigating a deeply personal journey. From carrying your own safety net to facing silence that speaks louder than words. From choosing joy deliberately to letting go of things that no longer serve you. It all requires heart, strength, and intention. But here's the truth. You're not alone in this experience. Every insight we've explored today came from real stories, people just like you, carving out meaning and stability in a space that's entirely their own. Yes, living solo can feel quiet, sometimes heavy, but it can also be deeply fulfilling, freeing, and full of purpose when you live it on your terms. Maybe what you needed most was permission to rest, or to simplify, or to dance alone in your kitchen just because the music moved you. Whatever it is, this is your time to choose, shape, and care for your life in a way that truly honors you. So take a breath, be proud of how far you've come, and know this: you still have so much to offer, so much to enjoy, and so much to discover, even within the walls of your own home. If any part of this touched your heart today, let us know in the comments. Share your own truth. Your voice may be the one someone else needed to hear. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Golden Minds and tap the bell icon. We're here for you with more videos that honor your wisdom, support your journey, and remind you that this chapter of life can be just as meaningful as any before.